What am I going to talk about today? I'm going to talk about the rise of superbugs and why has that come about. We all see stories and read stories in magazines and newspapers about mrsa, which stands for methicillin resistant streptococcus aureus. It's quite a mouthful, isn't it? Basically, antibiotic resistance. Now, over the last 50 years, I believe, antibiotic resistance has come about because when you've got an antibiotic, you've actually got an anti-life product. And in the world in which we live, you cannot have anti-life products. Nature will not allow it. So all they have done effectively by producing antibiotics, all they have effectively done is made the resistance and increase the capability and power of bacteria. Now, the best way to explain this is if I tell you we have 60 trillion cells, although give or take a few million here or there. If you've got 60 trillion cells that make up the whole of you, and then I tell you you've got 10 times that in bacteria, you'll see that you are more bacteria than you are cells. And now you can see the big picture. So if somebody invents penicillin, which came from soil fungi, okay, and then they go on to invent various strains of antibiotics, anti-life capsules, pills, anti-life products. Nature is not going to stand for that. You live symbiotically with bacteria, and the best way to address bacterial infections is with bacteria, your own bacteria. This is where I'm leading to. This leads us on to good bacteria. From when you were born, out of your mother's urine in the womb, you were given bacteria from your mother, and hopefully you were encouraged to your mom was encouraged to breastfeed you, and you had all those great lactobacilli infesting you all the way through your mouth when you first got on the nipple, all the way through the gastrointestinal tract, and they proliferate. You have bacteria all over you, and it's all over the place. So there is no getting away from bacteria. We live symbiotically with bacteria. We have all seen the children of the slums of India, of Mumbai and various places in India, and you would have thought those children are suffering from diseases all the time. In fact, the children of India who live in the slums are a lot more healthy than the children around us who are brought up in an antibacterial environment. Now, when I talk about bacteria, I'm talking about the full spectrum. The bacteria in the soap that you wash with, the bacteria in the mouthwash, the bacteria, the antibacteria, in the toothpaste, the antibacteria in the soaping products, when you go for a sunbed, the antibacterial wipes. The war on bacteria is about to end. The interesting bit about this video is I'm going to make a prediction in it, and I'm going to say within the next 4 years, okay, you can hold me to this, I think within the next 4 years will bring about the downfall of antibiotics. All antibiotics in the next 4 years will be absolutely rendered useless to anyone. Now, let's not forget, okay, let's not forget that 80% of the world's antibiotics goes into farm animals. So I'm not here to tell you what to do, I'm here to tell you what I get up to basically with the videos, and then you can always make your own adult mind up, can't you? Okay, it's not for me to tell you people what to do. I just like making the videos of really, it's what I get up to, and maybe a lot of it is stuff that can help you. So I'm not here to tell you to stop eating meat. As you know, I don't eat meat, right? I want nothing to do with that side of life. I hate the way the animals are treated. They're all enclosed. They come from commercial Frankenstein farms as far as I'm concerned. And of course, this is my video, it's my opinion. You may disagree, that's fine. We won't fall out about it. But anyway, all animals are impregnated at some point, including your milk is full of antibiotics. So if you've been eating antibiotics, and you've been drinking antibiotics, and you've been treated by the doctor with antibiotics, you know, antibiotics have got into the ecology of the planet. They're in the water systems, they're in the ground, and it's led to the rise in super strains of bacteria that weren't that super before. Some production of probiotics, your own bacteria. Now, of those of you who followed me, you will know I'm a big fan of this, and that's why I eat plenty of wild food. I was just this week gathering some mushrooms, as it's foraging season and mushroom season, which I've yet to make a video on, and I was picking nettles. They're all covered in soil-based bacteria that keep me healthy. So, one of the simplest methods to protect yourself in these days of the rise of superbugs is to drink kombucha, which is probiotic drink, which you know I'm a massive fan of. I've done previous videos of kombucha. It will be constantly in and out of my videos as I make a lot of it. And I've just about come to the end of my current supply of sauerkraut. Now, for those of you who don't know, sauerkraut is German, Polish, European origin, mixed cabbage and vegetables, fermented basically. It's fermented vegetables, and these give you great protection through the winter months. Now, once they're fermenting, they can go on fermenting for weeks and weeks and months. In fact, in the old days, people used to ferment their vegetables, make sauerkraut and bury them in the garden, in a container of course. Mine last not that long in the outhouse. I do have 2 jars left. So, more on the subject, let's go and have a look at how they're getting on. So here I have a jar of my sauerkraut that I made a month ago. Now these are the only 2 jars I've got left. I generally make it in quite large batches, 5 jars at a time. And like I was saying, sauerkraut is full of good bacteria, probiotic strains and B vitamins. It contains a full spectrum of B vitamins, so you're going to get more energy. Like I said before, the B vitamin group, B1, B2, B3, B6, B9, B12 are all contained in sauerkraut and B vitamins. They release energy, they're methylators, methyl donators. They bring about energy to you, to me. One of the great things that a lot of people don't realise is there is a vitamin called vitamin U. Now, I don't know why they don't use that term these days. It became known as, vitamin U became known as SMM, and that is S-methylmethionine. Now the beauty of S-methylmethionine, oh, do you know what? They're always a mouthful, aren't they, when I talk about products. The beauty anyway of S-methylmethionine is contained within cabbage and a few of the products, plantain for instance. I do like to put wild herbs in, I do like to put some weeds in, and plantain's one of the ones I do use because of the high content of S-methylmethionine. Now one of the great things about S-methylmethionine, aka vitamin U, is it has the ability alone to reverse Crohn's. It will reverse any problem in the gastrointestinal tract. It will reverse Crohn's, it will reverse stomach ulcers, and it will reverse any problem, any bowel problem you may have. And that is vitamin U or S-methylmethionine. You can get that in fermented cabbage in your sauerkraut. So if you're suffering with any gut related problems, this is one way to address them. Okay, so in the next video we'll be making some sauerkraut and I'll be showing you just how I go about it.